Hello and welcome to the Midnight Phoenix podcast. Cast. Yes, that was just for you, Josh. I'm your host, Onyx, with Josh, and our special guest for this week, Kira, also known as whatever you want to be called, really.
Do you literally just call me? Wait, what did you call me? I fucking forgot already. I'm sorry.
Kira.
Okay,
He edits
That's
some
your
of our
old name.
yeah,
videos.
that's my old name. My
Yeah.
own is Gears now because I'm fucking dumbass.
Because your gears rise.
Yes. No.
Wait, what?
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I edit.
I don't know how I
things,
feel
so,
about
you
that
know.
sentence.
Anyway, yeah, we're back with another episode.
Don't sound too enthused, Nathan.
Hey, this is the Midnight Phoenix podcast, okay? Maybe people won't want the whole "Wapow." I don't know what I'm going for.
The wapow!
And last week we had a wonderful talk about theoreticals with like superpowers, and it was awesome. Go check it out. This week we're going to be talking about Defy Media and content creators in general. It's been a pretty huge scandal the last couple months. If you haven't heard about it, a couple of rather larger YouTubers have put out some videos talking about it, explaining, and we're just going to sort of talk about our not experiences, because obviously we weren't with Defy, but just what we think of it in general. Josh, I know, has a lot to say on the matter.
That's just because, like, when I found out about it, it's like, it kind of hit me hard. Because even though I wasn't, like, we aren't in a MCN, multi-channel network at all, but, like, the fact that these people who are on the, who were on the Defy Media employment, whatever, they had to work really hard to get where they were, and they were putting in money and all this stuff, and they were providing all this content for people, and essentially they lost so much because a company wasn't transparent with them, and they were taking over and taking money from them, and they just didn't know what was going on. And it's just really, really sad because, like, some of the channels that were affected by it were Smosh Games, who was that? The Warp Zone.
Game theorists.
Yeah, Game Theory, but I think they were part of it. Yeah, and just
Shane's
a lot of
friend,
people that
I
we
think.
know.
I remember hearing about that. What was it? I forget his name.
Screen Junkies.
I don't remember
Oh,
his
yeah, Screen
name, so if
Junkies.
you tell me his name, I won't fucking remember. I'm sorry. All I know is like, he
But-
was one of Shane's friends that got fucked over as well.
And like, thing about it was that, like, they didn't see it coming at all. Like, Defy Media was actually hiring people, and
Just
like,
right beforehand.
yeah, and they were like huge. They had like 400 people under their employment, and they were like, "Oh, we're thriving. We have so much money. We've got all this stuff. We got like investments, this and that." But then they just gone.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
and
I
it's
have there's an article from the Wall Street Journal from 2016, I believe so that's September 13th, 2016, about how they had just raised $70 million in funding using money that they had kept from these YouTubers and from these content creators in order to basically fill their pockets and make them look more enticing to investors.
Yeah,
we
well,
should
so
probably
we're about
explain.
What was it? I think Mad Pat said something about how it was something about the paychecks. How I think you skip
Yeah, I was
over
gonna explain
holding
that.
it and to make the looks more look bigger.
Pretty much how MTN works is that when you get partnered with them, when you make money off of YouTube, they send the money directly to the MCN rather than directly to you. The MCN takes out their portion, and then they send it what's left to you, the content creator. But since they had so many channels under them that were like big channels, they were taking a lot of money from people, and it was just kind of not okay because of how much they were taking, as well as like they weren't giving any kind of explanation to the content creators. Like in MatPat's video, he talked about how the CEO or something, he was like literally talking to him, and I think something about they literally asked them like, "Oh, is it okay if we like withhold your check for a while because we got something to work on?" And they took that money to make their books look nicer for investors.
That's what I said. That's what I basically said before. And
Yeah.
I think I think it was either like somewhere either almost the end of last year, 2018, or beginning of this year, where they announced a bunch of people being laid off. Not like a certain
Yeah.
amount of people. I think it was like
8%, I think.
what was it? What percent?
I want to say it was 8% of the workforce.
Yep.
20 staffers.
And they didn't give notice.
And then when they were shut down, they were given. They said that they had like I believe it was a month's notice, and then the next day they shut down for good, no notice whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Have you guys actually ever heard or watched the Warp Zone before?
No.
Yeah. I don't remember what exactly I've seen, but they do some. pretty good stuff.
They do like gaming skits and like acapellas and all this like really good stuff, and like they were directly in employment with Defy, so and they're not like a huge channel. They were like moderately sized, like I think 1 million or so subscribers, maybe more, but like
2.2 million at the moment.
yeah. But the thing about it was they have no funding anymore, so their channel's just shut down at this point. Do they post any more videos?
Not since the last 2 months.
And the last one said
goodbye for now.
yeah, I watched that, and I was actually so sad because I love their videos. I had like so many of their songs on my actual Spotify playlist, and like it's so sad to think about how many people are affected by this. Like, how many? There's like 50 or 500 creators.
50 creators, totaling like $1.7 million. Like between them, and it's just. I saw Smosh, one of Smosh's. I haven't seen Smosh in years, but I saw one of the most recent videos talking about this, and honestly, like, they seemed like almost relieved. I think that Defy is shut down because they don't have funding now or as much funding, and they got a lot of money tied up. Obviously, it's a horrible situation. But they also don't have to worry about like Defy's rules and having them as a boss.
Oh yeah, like you know how Anthony left Smosh like years ago?
He also posted a video
Yeah.
explaining how the entire reason he left was because of Defy and not because of anyone there. I do want to point out.
Side note: do you think he would come back if that
join back?
I don't think so.
I would think
enough
unlikely
about
personally,
him.
but it doesn't really matter. It's not the case at hand. Just continue.
Yeah. One thing I do want to point out, there's been a lot of videos about Defy, and MatPat even talked about like the people of Defy, but I haven't seen one person mention the guy's name, Matthew Diamond, and I think that's just important to note. It's not just
that's his name.
It's not. Yeah, it's not just a baseless corporation. There's a person behind it.
I mean, there's a lot of people behind it. It's not just.
Yeah.
It's just insane because like it's completely blindsided so many people, and literally fucked them over.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm still waiting for
Matthew Diamond.
Matthew C. Diamond. He's CEO from 2013 onward.
When I hear that name, it just sounds like from a cartoon to me. I don't know why.
You're probably wondering why we even are choosing to speak about this. We're a small channel. We don't even have a partner. Well, the thing about that is, like, being a creator, may that be any kind of art or media, a lot of times you don't have full control of what you're making exactly. Because if you want more funding to do what you want to do, you want to, like, reach out more. What were you going to say?
Sorry, just, I don't mean to interrupt, but even just without a partner like we're doing, YouTube itself has a lot of restrictions, and the companies that you're featuring, that you're playing the games of, might have restrictions that they implement on YouTube. So not just partners, but just YouTube in general as well.
Yeah, and it's like, how do I word this? When you create something, you want so badly to share it, and it's not easy to share things as widely as you possibly can. So that's why people get partnered with these companies. And a lot of times, these companies will take so much from these creators. Like they'll take creative control over what they can do. They will take out portions of their money just whenever they can, and it's really, really messed up because it's not fair at all. Because they're just taking money for something that these creators are putting their entire lives into.
That's another thing I read about that was just seems so backwards to me, is that if you're part of an MCN and you are paid, YouTube sends money to the MCN and then to you, which doesn't make any sense because it's like, the MCN isn't your employer. They're a service that you're part of.
Mm-hmm.
You give them money. They don't give, you money.
They're supposed to give you, outlets to, show more of your stuff on, to, give you funding, to get sponsors, to do all this stuff so you can grow, but they're taking...
It doesn't make any sense for YouTube to send your money to anyone else first, or at all. And
then, see, a thing about it, actually, funny enough, is, this has been going on for maybe centuries, if you think about it. Because, even, the big Renaissance painters, they had to be of an employee of someone of great stature. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Stature?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stature.
And it's, even then, they don't have complete control of what they can do. If, someone commands them, I want you to paint this. And you're like, okay, I'm going to paint this. And they're like, I don't like it, change it. But you're like, I like it, it looks good. Like, nope, I'm paying you, change it completely. And that's just that just shows how hard it is to be an artist, because it's hard. And it's not like a job where you can just send in a resume, just be checked off and start. You have to show that you're good at it. You have to show that you have something to impress people with. And if you aren't good enough or you're not going to make money, then you're not going to make it.
You're just out of luck.
Yeah, it's just sad. Anyways, so say something funny.
We did that skit last time.
Oh my god. I don't know. We've been so dark.
Content creation can be absolutely wonderful. It's amazing to be able to make something and say, I did this. This is something I want to share with others. Despite the how should we say, monetary difficulties that can arise.
That's why they're struggling artists.
Like I was saying before, Smosh, their group now, a lot less money, a lot more freedom. They seem happier. I hope them the best.
Have you actually seen any of their new videos?
Well, just their newest one talking about this.
It's you can tell, because before, whenever they were with Defy, they had more production value. But then now they're still making kind of the same content, but you can definitely tell it's so much lower budget. And, they're doing stuff in Ian's house now. And, most of their content is...
originally.
Yeah. And it's kind of, nostalgic in a way. But it's also kind of oof. They went from having an office and all these employees to the bare minimum. I think in that video where they're talking about how they lost their home, they had just a couple tripods and they're using a phone.
Yeah, they're showing one of the core people was holding the boom pole who had never held a boom pole before, and the other one, there's a cameraman who is also just one of the group on a tripod with the iPhone for the camera.
It's just they're still making it, and they're probably still always going to make it. I wonder what the future of Smosh is going to be in 20 years.
I feel like in 20 years they may. It depends how YouTube goes. Just how YouTube going. It's in a weird spot right now where it can go anywhere, and it's hard to tell. Will it still be profitable in terms of making it a decent living in 20 years? So it's sort of just in the air.
You guys know about the. You guys know about how they're taking Google Plus off of YouTube completely, or just disabling those accounts.
Good.
Well, not disabling the accounts, but they're just. Yeah, they're YouTube Plus, or no, my god. Google Plus is not going to be a part of YouTube at all anymore.
I remember when that shit came out. I was like, why the fuck do I need to change my? Why don't? If I want to change my profile picture, why do I have to go to Google Plus? I don't want it. I don't want it.
That's why there's been so many issues with like YouTube lately. With like, do you remember that one day where like YouTube was just down for everyone?
Oh yeah, probably like a month or so ago.
Yeah, like I think it had to do with this because they were trying to take Google Plus out of the system, and it's so tightly put in, that it's like hard to get out. Because at this point, Google Plus is like anywhere you click, it's connected.
It was down for like 20 minutes, right? 20, 30 minutes.
It was down for a while, and that's like kind of big considering what YouTube is.
Yeah, like I heard like 400 hours every fucking minute or so, right? Like 400 hours uploaded to it.
Yeah, probably more.
You always hear about YouTubers talking about the YouTube algorithm and how things change and how they need to get their content out to other people. But like, on one hand, you could always think like, oh, these people just want subscribers. They just want more money. They want this or that.
That's probably true as well.
But like the thing about that is it's not like, oh yeah, they just want to be famous. It's more like, no, this is their living.
Yeah.
Like
it's also a livelihood. And
we aren't just we are helping them live. And if they aren't getting their content to their subscribers, and they aren't, getting those views, getting those ad revenue and all that stuff, they won't be able to make ends meet. And it's like, they have to do this at this point, because some people who've been doing it for like probably 10 years, I think, what else are they going to do at that point?
It's kind of crazy how it's like people have been working this industry, I guess you can call it, for a fucking decade.
Oh yeah,
and it's been a decade. Like, holy shit! I mean, really think about it. It's 2018.
2019.
It's 2019.
Yeah, no, I know 2019. Next year, it's gonna be the 2020. We're gonna live in the next 1920s. We're in the new 20s. We're gonna be living. Oh my god!
Wait, you're right.
The Roaring 20s. Let's hope for a Roaring 20s.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking great economy, and it's gonna crash again.
Okay, well, let's not hope for that part.
I did actually hear or saw this in an article, but if we ever went through another Great Depression, the nation would not survive.
Yeah, we'd be fucked. We would all be fucked.
Like, entirely, everything would just fall apart.
Going back to the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, back to not depressing shit.
I haven't really looked into this too in depth, but the new algorithm, obviously it's going through a lot of iterations, but it's really has been not like pushing. What's the word? Like, it's been leaving a lot of like animators, especially, the short videos, which pretty much all animations, because of how much time they take to make, has really just been left on by the wayside. And anything under like, I think 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Like, a lot of content now has to be like over 30 minutes or so to actually be shown on YouTube.
And to get revenue is more difficult than ever,
because you have to like
YouTube.
You videos have to be long now, so you can insert as many ads as you can. Like, that's if you like watch the bigger YouTubers now, like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, that's why they have those hour-long videos of just them playing just straightforward, because they need to get it out there and they can have fun and all.
It's content.
Yeah. And they're posting it like every day. They're playing these games, they're editing these videos, they're doing all this stuff. And like, a lot of these people are doing this like, 12 to 16 or more hours a day. And that's just their livelihood.
And that's just like, that's not even including all the behind the scenes of, like you said, like you mentioned, editing, but also following the statistics, the YouTube channel analytics, following trends, what videos are worth doing more, what needs to be cut, what like, going off of my channel history, what videos should we be promoting, what series do we need to cut, or just things like that.
Like, if you really want to like try to get grasp on this, just look at your favorite YouTubers, just what they post, and just look at the duration of the videos, and then look at the views, and then try to like figure out how many ads go in each one, and like, well, how much is it? Like, how much money is it per view?
It really depends, especially if you have an MCM. I'll see if I can find it.
I think I heard like a couple cents, other 2 or so cents per view? Question mark.
Yeah, I think you need like a good 10,000 views to even make, I think 1,000. Is that true?
$1,000.
I think so.
Yeah, the average income for each YouTube content creator is $7.60 per every 1,000 views.
It's $6
for every
$7.60
for how many
for every
views?
1,000 views.
I don't 7. I don't feel like that's right.
1,000 views, $7.
That can't be right.
Yeah, that can't be right at all. There's no way. When was that posted? Like, when was that thing you're looking at posted?
2018.
That does make sense. Didn't they say like something about? I heard that they were cutting back on like just views mattering because people are like, people get views really easily now. You can post whatever you want.
To me at all, that much money for 1,000 views.
Well, I mean that's why the YouTube system is like so ad heavy now. Why every video has ads, and how like you can have like in the beginning of the video or the middle of the video just an ad just right there, and you don't want to click off because you're already invested in the video.
There were, as of February of last year, there are over 100 videos on YouTube with over 1 billion views.
Yeah, if views mattered, then YouTube would be broke.
I mean, yeah. YouTube calculates how much the revenue through a system called CPM, or cost per 1,000 views. This can fluctuate between 10 cents and $7 for 1,000 views, depending on the quality of the content. But in most cases, the average per 1,000 views for any given YouTuber would be around $1.50 to $3.
Yeah, that seems right.
Jeez.
Dang. So it can be really difficult, obviously, especially depending on the content. Obviously, I don't want to say that some are easier than others, because if you look at like what's that channel, Soviet Womble, their editing is super in depth and like very well put together.
I say there, but it's one guy. It's one guy doing it.
He only posts like a video every 3 months or so, partially because of that. And then you have like what we were talking about, Smosh and other channels like that go for more skits and short films and such, which is obviously entirely different content with a lot of different things go into creating those, depending on what it is that's being created.
It's kind of interesting because like you look at people who play video games on YouTube as just people playing video games on YouTube, but they're creators. They're essentially, in a way, artists, and video gaming is their art. The editing that they put into it, all the work they put into it, is their masterpiece, and that's what they need to do. They invest all this time, they invest everything they can into it, and it just has to be something of worth, or else, yeah.
There's no point. They don't get anything from it. And we're getting back into depression mode.
Oh no. Well, let's say...
Don't be depresso, have an espresso.
Let's talk about something funny or happy.
I can drink coffee and hate myself and be sad. That's helpful. Thank you.
Say drink coffee, date yourself?
No, and hate myself. That's what it means.
You know what?
I mean, you could also date yourself.
I got a question. Would you guys date yourselves?
No.
No.
Why not?
Just immediate. Would you?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's too much. That's too much like self-love.
Is this that?
It's too much.
No. The thing about it is, psychologically, before you can love someone else, you have to love yourself. So
there's a difference between loving yourself and loving like yourself. Like this is like that. Would you date a clone?
No. It's not like that at all. I'm saying like, if you can see your own self-worth and your own value, and like you deserve to be loved, then you're gonna like be okay to love someone else. Get what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Psychology. Maybe that'll be our next podcast. I got plenty to say on that too.
I'm sure you do.
I'm a baby psychologist. What? No.
Psychologist.
I'm a baby psychologist. And by that I mean, hey, science. Science of the brain. Isn't that what that means? Psychology?
I mean, kind of.
Like psychology. Psychology. Psych. Do you guys remember that old show, Psych?
Oh, dude, Psych was amazing. Have you seen the movie?
I think so.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't remember seeing it.
You are uncultured. You know that I'm not telling the truth.
Oh
my god.
Oh, we're not going to do the whole thing?
No.
We're gonna psych you out of the air.
Nathan, honestly, you and I are Gus and Sean. Sean and God. Yeah. Thing is, I feel like I'm more of a Sean character, and you're more of a Gus character. But for obvious reasons, I'd have to be Gus.
Is that so, Burton the Billy Bear?
What?
Die Harder.
What are you talking about?
Ground Control.
What's happening?
Big Head Burton.
I'm very confused.
Magic Head.
I'm scared.
I'm just
so if you haven't seen Psych, every time Gus is introduced, it's
oh yeah,
a different alias.
He says a different name. I just remembered that.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
Knick-knack, paddywhack. Honestly, though, completely out of the blue, Sean got fatter throughout the season. That's how I knew.
Buddy snap.
That's how I knew what season it was.
Really? Do you remember the pineapple thing where like every episode there was a pineapple somewhere in the episode, and if you like text it in, you or something?
Oh my gosh, that's taking me back. I like how we started out this episode talking about depressing things like Defy Media, content creations, and the struggles, and now we're talking about pineapples.
And I'm stacking chocolate coins on my hand.
You have chocolate coins?
I've giant bag from Trader Joe's. Oh, it fucking fell from Trader Joe's.
Are you okay?
Yes. No. Maybe.
Do you need help?
Maybe. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Do you need me to call someone?
No.
I'm gonna call Pizza Man.
I don't want pizza.
It's like a pizza guy, but he's a man.
I don't want it.
See, he takes the pizza to your door. It's like a normal pizza man
When
guy.
you say pizza man, I think of that fucking. I keep on saying fucking. I keep on thinking of that one guy from Spaceballs, that creepy Jabba looking thing. It's weird. You don't remember?
Let me finish my pizza man sentence first, okay?
What?
So he brings your pizza to your door like a pizza guy does. He hands you your pizza. You give him the money, and just before he leaves, he tells you a sweet nothing into your ear, and then walks away, and you never see him again.
So you're saying, hold up. So it's basically a normal pizza guy, but before he walks away, he goes full creepy pedo mode and goes to your fucking whispers in your ear. What is that? What is that?
Du fromage.
What is
Omelette de fromage.
No.
I've never seen Spaceballs.
Yeah, me neither.
Really? Well, okay, I want you to look at. Okay, go on Google. Look up Spaceballs. Pizza.
I don't think I want to look up Spaceballs.
No, look up Spaceballs. And look at that. There's a pizza. It's a pizza thing. Pizza Hut. It's the Pizza the Hut. Pizza. That's it. Pizza the Hut.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I saw it.
Oh, is that where? Oh, that's Spaceballs.
Yes.
Oh, Lone Star. Wasn't it Scorb?
Whew.
I've been looking up. Going back to sort of content creators in a way. I was looking at like clips from Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the movie. I still haven't seen that, but
me neither.
That's some of that is like utterly hilarious, just from doing absolutely like completely random stuff.
Mm-hmm. I get you. Oh my gosh, I like how this conversation really evolved.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just. I'm still
we talked about. We talked about pretty much everything.
It's my biggest thing. I want everyone to support content creators. May that be on YouTube, may that be on Twitch or Instagram, just anywhere. Know that there's people who are doing this not just for entertainment, but for their livelihood. And
also artists.
That's what I said.
They just, but like not just video creators.
Yeah, like artists, like cartoonists, all the comic artists, because a lot of them. I follow them on Instagram. They're independent. They're doing this on their own, and they make books, they make pins, they make all this stuff. But they're drawing every day for hours, and it's just like
I think I saw a Reddit post, sorry, a Twitter post recently of like a little comic of like this person. I'm not sure if it was like that person just saying their story about it, or it was just something they made up to give awareness or that. But it was basically they started to draw a lot on their tablet. Their I forget the names of the tablets, but the things they draw on to convert it into computer.
Wacom?
Yeah, one of the either that or like some other brand of that. But you know what I mean. And I guess it hit so much it just their wrists just started to hurt so bad, and they had to go to the doctor for it. They're just doing it so much.
Yeah, and they have to do that.
You can get what's it called?
Carpal tunnel?
Yeah, carpal tunnel from doing that from working.
And they said they couldn't type at all. They couldn't do any of that. They just had to sort of just do nothing with their hands.
Mm-hmm. But I think we're gonna end this episode a little bit shorter, just because we've talked about a lot of depressing things, and maybe we just need to cool down.
It's funny how we went from serious stuff to sad, depressing, like the depression types talk, and then we went to here. That's great.
But yeah, there's been a lot of other bigger YouTubers who have talked about this, and obviously they might have more personal experiences. You know, there's 50 YouTubers. Definitely go check them out. Go support them as well. And while I'm talking about supporting, be sure to check out the description for one, and like, comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. Subscribe. You know, if you want to listen to if you want to see more content, we got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Oh,
and
also I should add that we will be posting the podcast on SoundCloud very soon, so keep an eye out for that.
If you prefer that sort of medium. But in the meantime, remember to burn brighter, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Be a